This is a very, very interesting fight. And it's very much the right fight. We'll get to a breakdown later. I haven't even spoke to my partners at DraftKings. I don't even know who they're putting as the favorite right now. I would predict for you that it's going to be Lopes, but I will also share for you, if it's going to be Lopes, he better get his ass out of there in the first 15 minutes. You do not want to go to championship rounds with Volkanovski, no matter what kind of a run you are, no matter how young you are, how good you are. Don't see Volkanovski in the 4th and 5th round if you still got business to do.
Extremely hard fight to handicap. You know, a lot of it is because what Volkanovski is going to show up. Is he going to go, well, okay, I need to protect my chin. Let me play it conservatively here and try to outpoint him and be the strategist that he is. But then you have Diego Lopes, who's going to be a fireball. He's going to go out there and he's going to try to find that chin of Volkanovski early and often until that final bell, because that's kind of the way he fights. I think that Volkanovski can handle Lopes on the ground. I do believe that. I think if we've seen him so many times get out of some crazy submissions with some great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, I'm not so concerned there. But I think on the feet is where I kind of want to see him. I want to see him outmaneuver Diego Lopes, and I think those first 10 minutes are going to be critical. And after that, he can kind of go into cruise control.
I think Volkanovski is going to put the beats on Lopes.
Do you have beef with Diego Lopes?
No, but I would have said that more respectfully had him and his manager not tried to attack me as if I said anything disrespectful to them. I would have been more politically correct about it, but I truly do think Volk is going to put the beats on him. And I'm going to give them the reason why Volk is going to whoop that ass.
All right, let's hear it.
And they can use this as hate, or they can use it as fuel to improve and get better and give themselves a fighting chance.
This is free game.
Volkanovski is coming with a vengeance. He is in phenomenal shape. What he does great versus what Diego Lopes does great is not the same. Volk is super well-rounded. He's strong in every single department. Maybe not a submission specialist, but he's very hip to the grappling game, where Diego Lopes is a very good grappler in terms of submission threats. But when it comes to striking, he is an all-or-nothing guy in the first round. There's no pacing about for Diego Lopes.
Sure, I think it's a fun fight. I think it's one that's going to be we're going to see exactly where Volkanovski is at in his career. Because I'm going to be honest when I say it. I'm not saying that Diego Lopes can't beat him. The prime Volkanovski, Diego Lopes wasn't going to beat. I don't see him beating the prime Volkanovski.
Why is that?
This one? Because Volkanovski was so good at being a guy that handled good quality strikers. And then when he got people that brawled, and for the most part, Diego in the stand-up brawls. He's got a good ground game, but he throws big looping shots. And man, Volkanovski used to eat guys up with counters off of them throwing big looping shots. He's really good with it. So looking at it, I would have said Volkanovski of the past, not a doubt in my mind who's going to win. Not saying that on this one, because we're going to see. We're going to see exactly what Alexander Volkanovski shows up.
Yeah, Lopes, obviously a dangerous dude. Bit of a different matchup to Ilia. Obviously both dangerous fighters. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Very excited. Excited to show everyone. Obviously people are like, he's old, he's done. I hope people are thinking that. Everyone knows I love the underdog story. Everyone knows I love to prove people wrong. I still think a lot of people believe in me and know I'm going to go out there and look great anyway. But for those who don't, you have every right to think that until I change your opinion. And that's exactly what I'm going to do April 12th. So cannot wait for that.
What would Volk beating Lopes do for his legacy? More than you might imagine, actually. There's value in terms of what it means to get back into the win column at this point. There's value, as I mentioned, in terms of the history, being his age, becoming a two-time champion, what it would signify to be that good and ahead of your peers while they are surging and you're coming off of losses. Like Aldo losing to Conor and then getting right back at UFC 200 and beating the fuck out of Frankie Edgar. Enormously impressive. And it added to the depth of his featherweight resume. If Volk was able to do that against Lopes, it would do the exact same thing, or something, pretty similar, obviously.
I tell you, I'll give you some. I mean, like, Volk can definitely still fight. I mean, I talked to Aljo, and Aljo's been training with him, and he said the first time they sparred, he tried to imitate like Diego Lopes, and after like a minute, he's like, "Fuck this, man! I gotta go back." You know, I think he got smashed a couple of times. He's like, "I'm going back to the way I like to spar."
Wow.
And you know, you see that. I used to put guys in the gym. Can you go southpaw? And
Right.
it lasts for like a minute. Like, what am I getting killed? Like, you know. So it was funny when he said that to me. But so Volk's definitely training hard. He's doing the right thing.
I trained with Diego Lopes once before too, and I was not impressed.
Wow.
And it wasn't, I don't know if it was a respect thing. I don't know if he was just trying to honey dick me and all the other guys he was training with. I was actually annoyed because I was like, yo, I actually like you as a fighter, and for you to come in here and train with us like this is actually very disappointing and underwhelming. And I know he had just hurt his shoulder, and so did I. We were both doing PT around the same time. I was like, damn, dude, I wish you like gave us a little more, because it was just like, it was kind of a letdown. It was just like,
he like barely trained.
No, not barely trained. I feel like he barely tried.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was doing it intentionally, just trying to see where we were at, but it was kind of, I was shockingly disappointed with the training session.
And I'm always disciplined. Everyone knows I'm known for my work ethic, known for discipline. Everyone knows I'm back in the gym and doing that, but I could always do a little bit better than 1%ers, and that is nutrition. You know, everyone knows I like my food. I would always get the weight off. You know, I do pretty big cuts, but I wanted to bring that weight down a little bit earlier, lay off the alcohol that a little bit earlier, and I'm going to do that the whole way through. So even with recovery, look after the body, strength program, do it all, just all the 1%ers, stick to it, do it properly. You know what I mean? Even when I've got media obligations and whatnot, make sure we're still getting our training in, make sure I'm still doing the strength and conditioning, making sure I'm still dieting properly. Just do everything right. You know what I mean? I ain't getting any younger, but I'm still feeling great. And then with the 1%ers as well, you may be seeing the best Volk you ever seen. So let's see how we go. But I'm feeling great, and I'm only going to get better from here. So that's a scary thing, especially for Lopes.
But you know what? I did a video on my YouTube channel saying that Diego Lopes would win. But then I watch all the fights, and Volkanovski does a very good job against like strikers in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't think Diego has that takedown defense. So I don't know. I think it's a good fight for Volkanovski.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you're looking at Topuria and Diego, they're similar, but they're really not. Like, they both have crazy power, but I think Topuria is more calculated and he sets stuff up a lot better. Diego's just gonna walk you down, and he's just gonna throw bombs at you, and he doesn't care if you try to shoot on him because he has good jiu-jitsu. But I think Volk, experience in the Topuria fight, he's gonna know. He had moments in there, right? He was jabbing and moving, just sticking and moving, sticking and moving. And I was watching Diego because Yair was supposed to fight him. We thought Yair was going to fight him. So I'm watching tape on him, and I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, he has that chaos that he loves. But I think Volk's experience is going to be too much for him. I think he's going to be smarter in the earlier rounds, avoid the big shots earlier, make it, you know, even kind of like what he did when he fought Aldo, pushing him against the fence, holding him there for a little bit, draining him a little bit. Then once it gets to the 4th and 5th round, those are the championship rounds. And I do think that Diego Lopes will get tired in those later rounds because he does go so full force in the early rounds.
Same thing I said about Diego. He's an all-or-nothing blitz type of fighter. He runs at you, sprints at you in the first minute or two, and if he clips you, he smells blood in the water, and he's very, very good at finishing fights from there. If that is his game plan against Volkanovski, and he has no plan B, Diego Lopes is going to lose this fight. There's no other way to say it. He's not going 5 rounds toe-to-toe with Alex Volkanovski. It's just not happening.
I think Lopes is in for a very, very hard fight. He's a gamer. He's a great dude. I got a lot of respect for him. A very nice fella. I'm sure he's expecting to go out there and win the belt. But I'm sorry, mate, that ain't happening. But good on you for being in this position. Happy you're getting the opportunity to fight for the belt. But I'm still here. You ain't having it. Sorry, mate. But hey, I appreciate every single one of yous.